Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another DEEPWOKEN reaction. Today, we're going to be listening to Elaison, as many people have wanted me to get to this since I got to my last DEEPWOKEN song months ago, so I feel like it was time to get back to DEEPWOKEN and hear what else this album has and what more Nectigonus has for me. So I guess without further ado, let's go! Oh, that's devious. We're gonna be talking about this chromatic lick for sure. That's awesome. Right out the gate with something super interesting musically. That's a great sign. We got like 6 minutes to go. I love that organ in there. Really nice chord resolutions. Interesting, like, gallop on the hi-hat while also doing this, like, really fast singles on the snare. The song got hands though, like kind of a spooky bitch, like boo, like I don't know what's wrong with me today. There's so much syncopation going on, like every instrument playing has a slightly different pattern. Oh, that's so good. Great patterns. Ooh, dissonant slides. Nectigonus, chill, bro. We're back to this. I do loves me a random ride bell thrown in. And the way the guitar, I was gonna say it almost sounded like vocals, but it might have had a vocal sample in there. The layering, for real. A little bit of a break beat here. We're probably like, what, halfway done? This might be a loop though, I suppose, but I never write anything off until the song is done. So many times I've been caught off guard by something new being thrown in. Ooh. Like that. And evolution on the drums. I love that. Oh, that's so good. Fill in that space. Ooh. Okay, a little bit of a hip-hop approach there with the triplets. Okay. Again, a lot of like rhythmic diversity in here. Okay, we're on Phrygian chromatic scales. There's some words you might have to look up if you don't know music. I'll probably put little blurbs on screen for you. Great pitch bends. Very F-Zero, if anyone knows the F-Zero game series. God, I love that. The voices falling at, oh, the slide, dude. Damn. Nactigonus might be the best single composer that I've heard so far in all of the Roblox stuff I've heard. All right, so there's plenty to talk about with this song. There's a lot that I want to talk about with this song, but I want to start with the very first thing I mentioned. And I don't know if it was intentional what they did with the synth at the beginning, but I want to play through it so you can all hear what I'm talking about so I can explain why that's kind of cool. So we start out here with just a chromatic fall, and it ends on a B flat, and that's cool for the other reason of the second part of that where it goes... And it's like, okay, what's so intriguing about that? Well, again, we end on that same B flat. I assume this whole song is in B flat with everything else. If not, it kind of shifts around, but largely B flat. But what's cool is those four notes. Like, you just go back up on the last one, but ooh, right? Okay, so these are the same notes as in Chopin's Piano Sonata 2, Movement 3. It's a funeral march, and you'll know it definitely once I play this. I know you've heard that. Basically, everybody's heard that. That's so cool. Starting with the funeral march, having that be kind of the root of the song, beginning there, beginning with vibes that we are basically indoctrinated to believe are sad, depressing. That entire collection of notes is just crunchy. They don't work together in any combination necessarily. They're all minor or dissonant. Like, I think this one... That one might be a major, but still, they don't necessarily fit together. They're all very dissonant sets of notes, and those are very traditionally used for things that are supposed to make you feel a little off. So that's why things like the funeral march do that, you know? They immediately make you feel like something's wrong. They make you reflect a little bit and go, okay, what's wrong? It's a funeral march. I wonder what's wrong, you know? You might not recognize this up front. It might not be super obvious, but the subconscious of that, the trickery and the psychology of music is 100% playing its part here. Even if you don't know any of what I just said about Chopin or anything else, that doesn't matter. The fact is you've probably heard that theme on a Halloween video or something at some point, some media somewhere, and you've heard that since you were a kid till now. However old you are, it doesn't really matter. I almost guarantee you've heard that passage. But then the song, the rest of it basically just sits. Like, you'll hear it if you listen to the song again, but you're like laying on that B flat, and it's just a constant drone pretty much through the whole song. And at some point it does like go back up to here and then moves its way back down, you know? Like, you have to have a bass line, that's what they're there for, but it's super cool that they basically keep these notes reflective of that theming. It's just immediately super spooky, and then you have all of the other stuff like the organ adding into that energy. Organs are very commonly used for funerals and of course cathedrals and just anything anything else that's this big, imposing energy that makes you feel like you are going to be crushed under the weight of whatever's being played. There's a reason that they're used in churches all the time, because they're huge. They've got this giant sound that's supposed to reach to the heavens. It's all reflective of this. And I mean, this whole song is rooted with the first lyrics being Kyrie Eleison, the name of the song being Elaison. You're getting God have mercy, basically, is what that means. So it's like, okay, there's so much to unpack here. So I assume there's some sort of like a religious backbone to whatever theme this song is for. Whatever character probably has some degree of a religious connotation to it. So that's really neat. Just, I like hearing how people interpret that. And when they take songs like this that largely would have a very broad and bright sort of sound, they decide to throw them into a minor key, make things sound very dissonant, and basically just what would happen if God decided to fight back, you know? Like, there's something in that makes you go like, oof, okay, that's not the God I signed up for, and it makes everything sound so much more intense, and you don't know what to do about that. There's that pressure of everything down on top of you, and you don't know how to approach it. So right off the bat, if this is a fight or a boss or something, that totally makes sense. You want a character that's supposed to be large, imposing, a force that's nigh unstoppable, basically looking down on you like, bitch, you want to give me a try. That's exactly the energy this is doing right out the gate. Just immediately, I was like, whoa. When I noticed that was the shopping thing, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And that's why I got so excited. But there's so much more about this song. The way that it doesn't ever line up, really. Like, the voices line up, but then there's that, like, sliding fall. That's not supposed to be happening. Falling angel imagery, maybe? Potentially. It could just be to make you feel a little bit more uneased again. Like, there's a lot of that in here. Just everything not lining up, like I said. The syncopation of every single instrument. Nothing's really setting together in this song. Every instrument has a different job, and they're going a different direction, so you never get that chance to lock into a piece of the song and feel like you're actually making progress. That's even more imposing than everything else prior. The lack of direction is terrifying. The fear of having no direction is basically a universal experience. Nobody in their life wants to be abandoned or lost and have no clear path of where to go. You don't even have an idea of what direction might be up or down. You don't know. That is terrifying to us as a species. It has nothing to do with are you brave or not. Even if you're the bravest person on earth, if you don't have a damn clue where you're going or where you might end up, that is terrifying. And that's what this entire song is designed to make you feel. To feel like nothing. You're smaller than the song. You're smaller than whatever you're fighting or facing right now. And this is just so well composed. Everything else in here was really neat. The guitars were fantastic. I love how that didn't even make a melodic sense at all. Like, they were definitely playing on the proper scale and everything. It wasn't that, but it wasn't lining up with anything else in the song. The synths were doing something different from the voices, the drums different from the strings, everything. Nothing was lining up. So even the really cool parts, the very well played stuff, was all overlapping at different points, and you could not make sense of it. That is, at least until the breakbeat section, where it almost feels like it's kind of like the I understand now meme, where like finally there's this portion where the breakbeat comes in and it's like, whoa, what's happening here? It's a little bit different. It's almost like you as the listener or you as the player are kind of like scraping together little bits and pieces of what you had heard, that nonsense from before where everything was so imposing and randomized, and you're making sense of it. And then once it comes back in, there's this solid rhythm, the guitar lines up to the drums, and now you have the apex of the story. You are understanding what's happening, you're about to take care of it, and the song basically carries through to the end with that energy intact and you intact as well. You finally get it. So starting out the song the way it was just nonsense, and halfway through creating the perfect climax of figuring it out and understanding what to do is just chef's kiss. I love that shit. They did a great job here, and like I said, Nactigonus is probably one of the best composers I've heard yet as far as just composing. When it comes to getting things down and making sense of the story in the song, we've had other ones like I'm Your Captain Now, like those are also fantastic, but the other composers I've heard from are just kind of starting out, or they're not nearly as aware of the situation yet, and that does take time and practice. So it's not like I'm sitting here going, they'll never be as good as these people. Like, that's not how it is. It's just that some people do get it a little bit quicker, or have been working at it longer and therefore have the experience to work off of. I can tell that Antigonus has that experience and has that work. Some people are a little bit more gifted in that field too, where they can pick things up a little bit quicker, but that doesn't mean that the other people who are working hard to get better are just going to be bad forever. It basically does boil down to a skill issue, honestly, and that does improve over time as long as people don't give up. So if any of the composers I've talked about before are watching this video about another composer and going like, oh, he's really praising them, don't let that dissuade you. If you're a producer, if you're a composer, I don't care what level you are, keep at that shit, because this is where you should be in a couple of years even. It doesn't take that long to get to this awareness as long as you're paying attention to what's happening. But that's about all I'm going to say on this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you have another song you want me to get to from DEEPWOKEN or another Roblox game, by all means leave it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, maybe you just want to follow me and support me for other stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!